Welcome back. So we have been able to design our front page, as you can see here on the screen. So let's move on to the next page. So if you take a cue from this here, we are having second place. We are having dedication and all of this right up here. So we're going to draw two text boxes. Two text boxes actually. Draw one here, maybe draw the second here, like so. So here is going to be just type dedication. Okay, just make this big enough for now. 38, just for now. Okay, and we're going to be copying. First and foremost, here we have heading Georgia bold 28. So let's use 28. If that would do 28, and then we're going to be using this here. Okay, bold. Alright, so this is what we're going to be having. I'm going to click all of this and we're going to be having this here. But first and first, we're going to be using the paragraph style here. Why? Because when you come in here, we're going to be having dedication, we're going to be having acknowledgements too, and all of those prologue. We will want them to be consistent, right? We will want them to be really consistent. So to achieve, we are going to use a paragraph style. Okay, so I'm going to go into my paragraph style. I'll click this here. Okay, paragraph style. I'll call this. I'll double click. I'll call this heading. Okay, then just put in a basic character format here. Georgia, right? So we're going to be having this bold 28. As I said, then character color, I will expect this to always be black. Okay. Alright, also we're going to make sure our indent and spacing is set to center. Okay, we're going to set to center. So I think with these settings now, we can just apply this anytime we are going to be designing, writing up places like the acknowledgements and stuff like that. So let's move on. So the next thing is to bring in our acknowledgements. Sorry, we're still in dedication. So I'm going to copy this like this. Right click, copy. Okay, so I'm going to come in here, right click. Okay, so I'm going to create a paragraph style for these two, so that there'll be consistency across board. So I'm going to click here to paragraph style. Alright, so I'm going to double click this. I'll put in go to my basic character style, still use. Okay, I will use okay, so here we're going to use 20. Then the leading is going to be 34. Let's see, 34. So how that's gonna look. Okay, so I think for this page, for this page I might be okay with this basically, or I might still go in and decide to tweak, let's say, the indent and spacing. Maybe I should use center depending on what I want. Okay, so this could work. Dedication here, and let's see what we have on this page now. So this is what we're having here now. So basically that's how it's done. So easy. So let's move on to the next page. Okay. Alright, so next I'm going to draw, let's say, text box here. Draw another one that flows like this. Alright, so coming in here, we have an acknowledgement. So I'm going to paste that here, Ctrl V, and because we have a paragraph style already, I'm going to apply the heading paragraph style and I'm good to go. Okay, so for this here, I'm going to Ctrl C. I'm going to paste that here. I could use this paragraph style if I wanted. Let's get something clear. If I wanted, I could use this, but this is not what I would love to use. But maybe we should just stick with this for now. I think it did the job well. Okay, so basically that is that. I'm going to call this let's call this let's say preliminary body. Okay, preliminary body. So if you look at this from the start, then you have Shift W, dedication, acknowledgement. Okay, so nothing much. That's why I said we're going to be learning the character style and paragraph style in this video. So let's move on to the next. So we have acknowledgement, or let's reference this instead. Okay, let's reference this. We have dedication, we have acknowledgement. So next is supposed to be our table of content. We are going to be leaving a table of content for later. We're not going to be doing that now, so let's move on to map placeholder. Okay, so it's going to be, we're going to be skipping a page. Skip this page, come here. But please take note, always draw your text boxes. Click in this, and then your frames. Okay, with this order here. So this is your frame, this is your text. So click this, hit my Ctrl D, and bring in. I think our map placeholder was this here. So let's bring that in. Double click, and holding my Shift and Alt. Okay, zoom in, hold Alt, middle mouse button. I think that is enough. And then we're supposed to be having what else? Yeah, the map placeholders. Copy and paste this here. Ctrl V. Okay, for now we're not going to be creating a paragraph style for this. So I'll just click this and I'll go to my character style and do basic formatting on this here. So I'll use still Georgia, then maybe bold, maybe bomb this to like 34. I think it's too big. Something maybe regular, and maybe size it too. That's how it's gonna look. So let's see this in context. Okay, not so bad. So let's move on to the next. Okay, so next is supposed to be a prologue. Okay, for the prologue, let's see. So we're going to be having two text boxes, one here, another maybe from here all the way. If you observe, I'm drawing my text boxes within the margin. So I'll click here, click this here. I'm going to be having prologue. And I think you guessed rightly, we're going to be using our character style that we use for our heading. So, sorry, paragraph style, come to preliminary body, no heading actually. Good. So come in here to, come in here. Let's copy the prologue. Come to see, I will comment here and Ctrl V. Okay, I would love to have used my paragraph style. Let's see if it's going to work. Preliminary body. No, I'm going to create another style for this. In other words, for the parts of the write-up that has so much, I'll use a different paragraph style. Then for this part like dedication and acknowledgement, I can use this. But of course, I can format this all at once by just tweaking my preliminary body. For example, if I come in here and I say, okay, I want to use my alignment to be right justified. Okay, you can see it's affecting it. If I say center, what if I say right? It's going to change the whole thing. So I will use right justify and leave it at that here. So maybe I'll call this preliminary body 1. Okay, I'm going to create another one and call it preliminary body 2. So okay, I think this is not good enough. Let's tweak this again. Indent and spacing. Let's left justify. Okay, yeah, left justify is what I need. So I can use left justify. I can still go in and maybe tweak this a bit to maybe 34 here. Maybe use something like 28. Okay, and I'm having the spacing here. You can also go in and tweak, let's say, the size to 18. And guess what? It updates real time. Okay, so we are back here. Okay, this is beginning to make sense using 18. Okay, maybe I don't need to create any other style for this part, preliminary body. Let's see how it's going to look. Shift W. Okay, if you ask me, not so bad. Alright, so of course these are the preliminary pages, so the write-up are kind of bigger, but for the main page, for the main write-up, like our chapters, is going to be smaller, basically. So let's move on. Okay, let's move on. So what I'm going to do next is we're going to our prologue. Okay, I think that should be the end of all of this. Okay, so let's see, Shift W. We have this here, front page, dedication, acknowledgement. Here is for our table of content, which we're going to do later on. And here is our prologue, and we're going to begin a chapter here. So what do you observe critically that make this so easy? Number one is the use of paragraph style. I created a style for this, which you can see here, heading, and I created a style for this, which you can see here, preliminary body. So I can edit all my heading all at once by editing this, and I can edit all my preliminary body, by editing this. So same goes for character style. Okay, if I just need a character style, I could just draw text box, maybe write something like let's say international. Click this, go into my character styles, create one, double click, give it a name. Okay, then go to your basic character formats and put in your fonts, your size, advanced character formats, character color, open type features, underline, strike through, export tagging. All of these are there that you can tweak, but so that, let's say if I decide to give this do I have Mirror Pro? Okay, Mirror Pro, I said to use something like bold. I said to take this to like 30. Okay, and click OK, for instance. So it means if I click this here and I click character style, it's going to be using that too. So character style, all are options that you can use with your paragraph style, but the paragraph style gives you more option. Okay, let me take this to none. Gives you more option because if you go into your paragraph style, you have options like your indent, where I can say, okay, everything should be left justified, and so on and so forth. So if you ask me, I use character style for a one-line, editing. Say I can create a character style for my pagination. Maybe they say where I want my page numbers to show. I'll use a character style, but for things like this, I prefer using a paragraph style because I want to have access to things like indentation, indent and spacing, left indent, right indent, hyphenation. That is, if I don't want them, I want to have access to all of this, basically. Okay, so another thing I'd love to check is that if you observe, this is hyphenated, as you can see here, which affect hyphenations, which affect all pages. Okay, and here, so all I need to do is to go into my paragraph style, okay, and go on into hyphenation and watch this here. If I uncheck this, it goes off. And the good thing with this is that it affects all write-ups that have used the same character or paragraph style with. Okay, so I'm going to delete this. I don't need this character style. Okay, delete it too. Delete this. So basically, this is what we have at this point. The clock master's key, refer to twisting, then dedication, acknowledgement, table of contents, map placeholder, and our prologue. Alright, so we're going to call it a day at this point. So that'll be the end of this class. In the next class, we're going to begin with our chapters, chapter 1, base, and so on and so forth. So see you in the next class. Thank you. Bye.